We have a new report surfacing about a former Eagle legend reunion that is incoming, as this playmaker and one of the key pieces to the first Super Bowl championship in franchise history is looking to end his career where it all started in the city of brotherly love. And there is a real debate on if it would be a smart move for the Philadelphia Eagles to bring him back. And I'll discuss my thoughts on the possibility of bringing back this Eagles legend and how the draft could shake up this decision. How's it going, guys? Alex Brooks back here with another edition of Eagles Digest as we talk about the Philadelphia Eagles as we are heading into the almost a week before the NFL draft, as it is the second to last Tuesday before the NFL draft. And we're going to get all into this video as we talk about the Eagles legend in Zach Ertz. And it was reported today that Zach Ertz, along with Jeff McLean, had a conversation about him possibly being back with the Philadelphia Eagles and not wanting to end his career with his ACL injury. This is very interesting here, just kind of going to give you guys a little bit of that tweet here saying that Zach Ertz recently met with Howie Roseman to discuss his future. Ertz has said that he wants to retire in midnight green and is just 11 catches away from the Eagles receptions record. So I know that I talked about this on a video before during the trade deadline and really trying to add more guys to this tight end room because you don't know how much that was going to affect the Eagles throughout the season. Well, Dallas Goedert was able to have a career season. He's going to be back. But with Zach Ertz now having that interest to be back with the Philadelphia Eagles, it's kind of I would say like a hit or miss type of situation. I feel like I would love to have Zach Ertz end his career, just as a fan of him and former, really big fan of Zach Ertz here when he was in Philadelphia. But also you got to think of the future and you got to think of the good tight end class that is in the 2026 NFL draft. So that's going to be very interesting to look for moving forward. But before we get too far into this video is brought to you by our sponsor, Prize Picks. Prize Picks is America's #1 sports picks app, and it's the best way to get in on all the action regarding live sports. And we'll dive deep into some of my picks in just a little bit. But make sure you guys use the promo code DIGEST with the link in the description to sign up today, as it really helps out the channel a ton and also helps us to continue to promote the content here on Eagles Digest. But as we talk a little bit more and discuss more of the option of Zach Ertz being back with the Philadelphia Eagles, wanted to just kind of give what Zach Ertz was going to say regarding his future here in the NFL. He had to say to Jeff McLean, saying, "I don't want it to be the last play that I have." Even talking to people now, and they do it out of the goodness of their heart, and they say, "Man, that injury was tough." When people think of my career and that last play, I don't want that to be the conversation starter. And so for me, it's doing everything I can to get back to the best because I feel like I was playing really good football before I got hurt. And Zach Ertz, he's obviously been a true, veteran in this league. He's been a true warrior when it comes to the tight end position. His impact with this Philadelphia Eagles team back from 2013 all the way to 2021, he was a staple at that tight end position because, before that, it was Brent Selleck. And I mentioned here multiple times that the baton has been passed, really smoothly when it comes to the tight end position. It was Brent Selleck to Zach Ertz then to Dallas Goedert, and now with Zach Ertz possibly wanting to come back to Philadelphia, I feel like that can be an interesting reunion, but also, to be honest, I think there are better options when it comes to the NFL draft because you want to have that smooth transition once again. I feel like if Zach Ertz knows that, he can be a backup on the Philadelphia Eagles, I think you could make it happen, but when we're looking at this tight end room, it's really full when it comes to the 2026 season. I mean, you're looking at Dallas Goedert, Grant Calcaterra, and Johnny Munt. I know that, Goddard is the only guy that really Eagles fans and the Eagles organization really trust to be that anchor at the tight end position. But, Johnny Munt, he has very good experience blocking. And Grant Calcaterra, yes, he's isn't a really great blocking tight end, but he has that continuity in this offense. I understand that's going to be a new offense, but a continuity with Jalen Hurts is something that is very underrated going into another season. So this tight end room, it's very full outside of a rookie. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Eagles add someone on the draft. And when it comes to the NFL draft, that is going to be a conversation if the Eagles are going to trade up for a guy that I mentioned yesterday, Kenyon Sadiq. So if they are able to go and get a guy like that, I think the Zach Ertz reunion conversations will probably go out the window. So the Eagles don't get a tight end in this draft, they probably will entertain that idea. But if they end up seeing that a tight end prospect like a Max Clare, Kenyon Sadiq, Oscar Delp, one of those types of guys is available for the Philadelphia Eagles, I think that it's going to be tough to pass up on those guys for a guy coming off an ACL injury. So going to be very interesting to kind of look at when it comes to Zach Ertz. I mean, you look at his career from what he's done with Philadelphia, Arizona, and what he did with Washington for a couple of years. 825 receptions, over 8,500 receiving yards, 57 touchdowns, and he's also a three-time Pro Bowler with the Philadelphia Eagles and a Super Bowl 52 champion. So he has done everything and more when it comes to being a Philadelphia Eagle and being a legend with this Philadelphia Eagles team. I just don't think it is a, really good football business decision to bring back Zach Ertz because he is coming off that ACL injury and you don't really know how much of an impact he is going to have on this team. I feel like it is past, he's definitely past his prime. He does have some juice left in him, and I would welcome a reunion if it made sense. But at this point, I think the Eagles are trying to get younger and they're trying to go and pass that baton when it comes to the tight end position. I mean, you can't ignore his stats. You can't ignore his production over the last couple of years, especially helping Jaden Daniels. But at the end of the day, the Philadelphia Eagles are looking to get younger at that position and also looking to get a more, stable type of, long-term position with that tight end because Dallas Goedert, Johnny Munt, and Grant Calcaterra are all on one-year deals. So if you're able to get someone who is, you very younger, 24 to 25 years old, then you can sign him to a 4-year contract and be very good out of the NFL draft. So very interesting there. Comment your thoughts down below. Let me know what you think regarding a Zach Ertz reunion. Would you welcome it here to the Philadelphia Eagles, or do you think the Eagles should go younger in the NFL draft? Let me know down in the comments when it comes to Zach Ertz. But before we wrap up this video, let's get into some of my picks brought to you by our sponsor, Prize Picks. Remember, guys, to use the code DIGEST when signing up with the link in the description and the pinned comment so you can get in on all the action regarding live sports. But getting right into some of my picks, and I decided to go with the theme of the tight end position. So with these guys for the 2026 season, I'm going to start off with the tight end out of Atlanta, Kyle Pitts. He is someone who I really wanted the Philadelphia Eagles to get in free agency, ended up going back to the Atlanta Falcons, and I am picking more on his receiving touchdowns. I think he is going to want to have more of an impact this year. Was a very good, reliable tight end last year. I think he's going to want to build on that. I know that Atlanta really has a interesting quarterback controversy right now with Tua and Michael Penix, but I'm confident that whoever's throwing the ball, Kyle Pitts is going to get more than 3.5 receiving touchdowns. And then when it comes to Trey McBride, I'm taking less on his receiving touchdowns, and that goes over the quarterback position as well. I don't know who is going to really be starting for the Arizona Cardinals. Is it going to be Jacoby Brissett? Is it going to be a young rookie? I just think that he is going to have less of an impact this year on receiving touchdowns. And I think he is going to get more yards, but also, have a little bit less in the touchdown. So I'm taking less on his receiving touchdowns. And then going over to Brock Bowers' receiving yards, 849.5. I think he's going to have another 1,000-yard season with Fernando Mendoza or Kirk Cousins. Maybe both of them are going to be in at some point in 2026. So I'm taking more on Brock Bowers regarding the receiving yard. So, let me know down in the comments what you think of these picks. And make sure you guys use the link in the description in the pinned comment and use the code digest. And thank you once again to Prize Picks for sponsoring this video. And guys, let me know what we talked about in this video. Let me know down in the comments what we discussed here regarding Zach Ertz. And we're going to have more coverage when it comes to the Philadelphia Eagles. So make sure, if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button so you are up to date on everything surrounding the Philadelphia Eagles. But hope you guys have a great rest of your day. And as always, let's go Birds.